Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB, super pumped you're here. It is a Monday. We are rocking and rolling, excited about this Monday. It is July 3rd, 2023. Independence Day, freedom is what we love. It's one of my favorite values, probably my most important one. I've said if I'm not free, it screws everything else up. That's what we're doing this week. We are ready to go. Episode 5 of 15, self-expression. That's what we're getting into. And I got a big week planned. We're going to talk first a little bit about the 100-day challenge. We're going to start it. I've been talking a lot about this. We're going to start it on July 1st or sometime, within that. But I decided let's do it July 10th. And what I want you thinking about is I want you to be thinking about what is one thing that you want to get done. Okay, we talked about it in group coaching for those of you that were in group coaching last week. But I want you to be thinking about one thing. Okay, and if you want some accountability, you want a group that's with you, you want people firing all cylinders for you, then let us know what it is. And by the way, on July 10th, we have a personal expert meeting, a professional expert meeting. Professional expert meeting. We got a great group coming. We're going to be talking about launching, but we're also going to be talking about the 100-day challenge. Nicole brought up the idea of stacking, and she's stacking not drinking, the new product she's launched, or new program she's launching, and one other thing I can't remember, but she will tell us in the meeting. I'm going to track what everybody's going after, and you can stack them. You can stack a couple things. No, not drinking. For me, writing a book, that's what I'm focused on. Okay, I want to get my book done. So I'm going to start July 10th with this 100-day challenge. So I want you to be thinking about that. We're going to rock that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to talk about it for 100 days to really get some things, or maybe it's just getting your plan in place. We got a lot of new people involved. It's great. We had some new people in the coaching last week. Got a lot of new people. The launch is going great. We're closing on the 7th, by the way. So we're going to close it on the 7th. So this is your opportunity to let other people know about Morning Coach and the cool things that we're doing, like the 100-day challenge. So I'm excited about this week because it is the holiday week, but also because we got some cool things we're going to talk about. First of all is self-expression. We're going to get into that today a little bit. The second thing is we're going to talk tomorrow on the book study, and I got a good one for you. It's 10 times is easier than 2 times. How world-class entrepreneurs achieve more by doing less. Achieve more by doing less. This is a great book. We're going to get into this big time. We're going to talk about some of the things that we're doing here, some things you can do, and we're going to get into that. Tomorrow, I'm going to intro it. I don't want to get into a ton of it because it's the 4th of July, and most people are celebrating the holiday. It just is what it is. So I'm going to intro the book tomorrow. It's going to be a very brief coach cast, but at least you'll know what the book's about, what we're going to be talking about, and a little bit about it. I was going to do chapter 1, but I want to hold that off to the 11th, next Tuesday, because it's such a good chapter. It's so good. So we're going to intro to that tomorrow. We're also going to be selling Independence Day here in the United States. I don't know if I'm going to run in the 5K. I'm kind of debating it. I'm not in the best shape that I normally am. When I run that last year, I was in great shape and broke my time. I may wait till next year just because I had some chest issues this year and still got some congestion. It's almost gone, but I don't think I'm going to run in it. That is tomorrow, 4th of July. Once we come out of the 4th of July, I got a big golf tournament on Wednesday, but we're going to get into putting yourself out there and belief. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be talking about getting yourself out there and belief and doing it. And again, we'll be kind of in the holiday mode, but I'm going to keep rocking because on Thursday, we're going to talk about Ask JB, and it's going to be focus on activities, not results, but results do matter. And I'm going to talk about that because a lot of people ask me about that. So it's going to be a big day to go over that. Friday is financial focus and energy. Where is the money going? Okay, that's going to be an important one. We talked a little bit about that last Thursday. Saturday, self-expression systems. And then Sunday, spiritual expression and faith. So we got a big week. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a new book. We've got a 100-day challenge. And we've got new members. And again, if you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is a place where we've got a lot going on. Please do not get overwhelmed. Hopefully you can jump in one of our meetings, whether it's the professional expert meeting or in one of our meetings that we're having, that a live coaching meeting, or we're having some other ones. John Cunningham, thank you, John, is putting together some upper belt level meetings. He's going to be talking to some of you that are at the higher belt levels and working into that. So we've got a really, really, really awesome time planned for you. Good energy, a lot of great things going on, and I want to start the week off with a bang. Even though, like I said, for a lot of people, it is a holiday week, we're still going to rock and roll it. So First thing I want to talk about as we get into this week is self-expression and creation. It's really important that we understand this concept of creation, because once we start creating and we start putting out there and we start expressing ourselves, we find true fulfillment. I find so many people that are struggling, especially people that are successful, meaning financially successful, that they don't have any happiness, right? Or they're searching for the next thing, or they're chasing that next squirrel, or they're the shiny object. And part of that problem is they're trying to figure out how they can create, how can they express themselves. And I want to slow you down, and I want you to think about what it is that you do to generate revenue. If we need to make changes, we'll work within the plan, but I want you to think about what Khalil Gibran taught us. And I did a Silent Sunday on YouTube a few weeks ago about this, is that work is love made visible. And I want you to think about the work that you're doing as servant work, like servant work because you want to do it, like you want to please. And all of a sudden, when you start to do that, things start to change. And all of a sudden, you start to have a different perspective on work and your self-expression and creation. You see, work is a big part of life. If we don't work, we don't have the self-expression and the creation. And work is love made visible. And what I want you to do is find that in your work. I want you to find that passion and that creative ability in your work. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can find that. You can find a way to be creative and passionate about your work. I talk a lot about Colombia and going down there. And I'll never forget meeting a taxi driver who had made his taxi into like a party, into a Ruma, and a Chiba. We call it a Chiba. If you've ever seen a little statue of a bus, basically in Colombia, what they have is Friday afternoon, a bus goes out, and it's all decorated, and it has a DJ, and it's a Chiba. It's like an old school bus, and it's open on the sides, and people just jump on there and party, and they go from party to party. It's a Chiba, right? It's awesome. And they have fun with that. That's kind of the Colombian lifestyle. Chiva reminds me of Colombia more than anything, because I'm there and you'll hear them. You'll hear the bus coming. Here it comes, and they're all over the city, right? And people are just having fun. Well, I'll never forget getting in a taxi, and a guy did the exact same thing. He had the lights, and he had the music, and he had like a Chiba for his taxi, and he really put his passion and his love into it. And most people, especially in the United States, would be just like, I'm a taxi driver. I don't want to do this damn job. I got to work today. This is not fun. Right? We've all been there. I mean, we've all had jobs that we didn't love, but here's somebody that took a job that probably most people wouldn't love and whistled while he worked. Took it, figured out that I'm going to be passionate about this. I'm going to make my car great. I'm going to have fun. And guess what? He made more money. He makes more money than everybody because everybody's tipping him a lot because he's doing it and he's finding the passion in what he does. Okay? You can do that when you're cooking, when you're cleaning dishes. It doesn't matter. You can find the passion and the energy and create and express yourself in everything you do. Now, I know we can't do that every day. I mean, I can tell you sometimes when my mood swings and I'm not in the best mood, even on the golf course, I can kind of be a jerk. Maybe my energy level isn't where it is. And so I'm not putting myself out there. And one of the things I got to learn to do a better job of, and I'm learning this, is to be the doctor. The doctor goes where the people are the sickest, meaning bring that attitude. Bring that good energy that you can bring. I love Ted Lasso. I love the way the show is. Obviously, he has darkness, which is good. We all have darkness, but I love the light that he brings. And I love the comments that he brings. And I love the way that show makes me feel. And I want to be the real life Ted Lasso, meaning when I'm out there, I don't want to be the negative guy. I don't want to be the guy that brings everybody else down. I want to be the person that makes everybody happy and bring people that energy that they need. And really self-express myself as being a positive, upbeat individual that makes the world a better place, that is productive, that does get things done. And that's what I want you to really be thinking about, okay? So a lot of people ask me, how do you self-express? Well, let's talk a little bit about finding out more about yourself. One of the things you can do is think about your inner child. Now, this is, I get it. This is not easy stuff, okay? We're talking about kind of psychological stuff here that people do. And for me, like I'm going, come on, inner child. I don't want to talk about my inner child. But there are times when you got to step back and think about things that are going to help you. And what I want you to think about is drawing yourself as a child on paper and add image and words to give the child everything it needs. And again, this is something that I was really rough with. I'm against regression therapy. I've never been a big fan of going backwards, but sometimes we need to. And I had a writing coach one time, Kelly Notaris, and Kelly grabbed me, and I couldn't figure out why I wouldn't write. And to this day, it still bothers me. And I have to work this back. And it's because when I was in a split third, fourth grade class, the year before I got held back, I was bullied. I was bullied really hard. I don't remember much of it. I just know it was a really miserable experience. And my parents brought me back this pencil, this really gigantic pencil from Washington, D.C. I remember when they brought it back. And I used to take that pencil and I'd hide it underneath the desk, and that's where I'd do my homework. And I used to do it by myself under there, because I didn't want to be bullied. I didn't want people yelling at me. The kids were a year older than me. I was kind of small for my age. Plus, they thought I was super intelligent, so they put me in the split class. It turned out to do the opposite for me. That kid got beat up. That kid got mentally abused. It made me strong. I mean, that's why I'm here today, and I don't care so much anymore because I was able to handle that. But I thought back to that, and what took the hit was writing, because I hated to write, and I started hating to write because of the bullying and the stuff that was going on in my brain. And so my grammar teachers didn't help, and so I just didn't want to write. And so Kelly said, "What happened to you as a kid?" And I remembered that. And she said, "Do me a favor." And this was right before I started writing Sacred Six. She's like, "Take a pencil and go underneath your desk and tell that little kid you'll be okay." And believe me, I was the first person to call bullshit. Like, I don't believe in that stuff. But I did it, and it helped. And it got me through my issues. And still to this day, as you know, I'm doing a 100-day challenge because I need to get my butt off and write. I need to write. I'm a great writer. I'm great at what I do, and this is what I need to do. It impacts people. But that little kid has issues with it, right? That's in there, and it's stopping me from doing it. So if I have to do it again, I'll grab the pencil, I'll go underneath the desk, and I'll do it at 54 years old and tell that kid that it's going to be okay. Same thing, this is kind of looking at your inner child, understanding you and understanding an inner child and seeing a child there and saying, okay, what does this child need? What do you need? What do you need to be able to express yourself? And think of those images and those words and add them to that kind of picture as a child. And if you're like me and you can't draw, right? And again, this is another psychological issue, then draw a stick figure on there, right? And then put the words and images that are going to make a difference. Okay, so add images and words that give the child everything that they need. The other thing you can do, and I like this one too, as a way to self-express, is to do an inspired poem. So take a quote that you love, write it on paper, and then start writing below it. So like "Work is Love Made Visible" by Khalil Gibran. I love that. So then "Work is Love Made Visible," and then you could just start writing underneath it and express yourself. Allow yourself to use a great quote to express, and that's going to get you to expressing yourself more. These are self-expression techniques to get to know yourself better, which creates that internal awareness that allows you to work, okay? Some other things you can do to get that self-expression, that creation working is to listen to music. You've heard me before say I love Hans Zimmer. I love soundtracks. Why? Soundtracks take me on a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But while I'm riding that roller coaster, it's creative. It gives me that energy. Plus, it's kind of like Pavlov's dogs. When I need to be creative, I know I put on movie soundtracks. As soon as I hear the movie soundtracks, I start to get into creative mode. That works. Journaling works. I am a huge fan of journaling. Okay, there's a couple ways that I journal. I'm doing some astrological things right now. Again, getting in the gray area, doing some tarot reading and some astrological reading just to do something different for my brain. And I'm journaling. And what's crazy is a lot of the results and the things that it's making me think about are helping me in my life. So do I go in the gray area and have that belief as a metaphysician? I don't know. I don't know enough. Nobody knows enough to be a pessimist. I don't know enough to say, no, that stuff's not right. No, the moon phases don't affect me. No, the tarot making me think a little bit isn't there. I'm not using it for divinity. I'm using it to kind of look and give me ideas and thoughts. That it's working with, and it's really getting me thinking. Okay? So, and then I'm journaling that, and that really helps me connect to my self-expression. And of course, you can create your art, whatever that is. To me, I believe business is art. I believe creating is art. I believe getting yourself out there is art. Launching products, which we're going to talk about on the 10th, next Monday. Building products, expressing yourself, writing books. That's all art to me. And I think it's great. And when you can connect to that, you can express. And when you can express, you find more fulfillment. When you find more fulfillment, you find more happiness. And you know you're on the right path. And that's really what I want you to think about. So work as love made visible. Find some ways to self-express. Think about your inner child. Think about writing an inspired poem. Get some music that you listen to when you want to create. Journal a little bit. Now, you don't have to do everything, and please don't. Okay, that's one of the things I got to keep reminding everybody is you got to pick a few things. You got a toolbox. These are things in your toolbox. It's not like you're going to take every tool with you to every job. So find a few things that work for you, connect to it, and self-express. Okay? So I love you. Let's go do it to it. By the way, if you know somebody that needs this morning coach and needs some energy and really it will change their life, Send them to morningcoach.com. We're open to the 7th. I got some amazing bonuses. We already got some great new people, and we're having a blast. Okay, so we're still open this week. We're closing at the end of the week. But let's go do it to it. Let's put some great energy out there, and I'll be back with more right here tomorrow. It's the 4th of July, so it'll be a quick one. I'm going to introduce you to a new book that I'm really excited about. We're going to have some fun. So go kick butt today, and I'll see you tomorrow right here on morningcoach.com.